Have you ever looked into what they think you are? Not whether it likes you, not whether it tolerates you, but what it genuinely believes you are deep down. Because cats do not look at us the way dogs do. They do not wag. They do not beg for our approval. They watch. They calculate. They blink slowly across the room like tiny philosophers with secrets. They study us in silence. They decide what we are. And for thousands of years, humans have stared back, wondering the same quiet question. Who do they think we are? The truth is stranger than most people guess. In 2019, a behavioral researcher named John Bradshaw spent decades studying domestic cats and concluded something startling. Your cat does not see you as a human. Your cat sees you as another cat. A very large, very clumsy, slightly confusing cat. That single idea changes everything about how we understand them. Because once you accept it, every strange behavior suddenly makes sense. Let me ask you something first. When your cat rubs its face against your leg, what do you think is happening? Most people assume it is affection. It is. But it is also something deeper. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, foreheads, and the base of their tails. When they rub you, they are layering their scent onto your skin. They are marking you as part of their colony. In the wild, cats do this only with members of their inner circle. So when your cat headbutts you at 6 in the morning, it is not just saying hello. It is announcing to the entire invisible world of smells that you belong to them. You are family. You are theirs. Now compare that to how dogs see us. Dogs treat humans as a separate, superior species. They look up. They obey. They form pack hierarchies where we sit at the top. But cats never got that memo. A cat looks at you and sees an equal. A peculiar two-legged equal who somehow controls the food. Which leads us to the next question. Do cats think we are their parents? The answer is yes, in a way most people never expected. Kittens are weaned from their mothers by about 8 weeks. But house cats, the ones raised by us, never fully grow out of kitten behavior. They knead with their paws, the same motion they use to stimulate their mother's milk. They meow throughout their lives, even though adult wild cats almost never meow at each other. Meowing, it turns out, is a language cats invented mostly for us. In feral cat colonies, adults communicate through scent, body language, and silence. But the moment a cat moves in with a human, it starts experimenting with sound. It learns which meows get attention, which meows get food, which meows get the door opened. Your cat has built a tiny custom vocabulary just for you. No other human in the world fully understands it. That little library of sounds belongs only to your household. So in some sense, every cat owner speaks a private language with their pet that no one else can translate. If that does not make you feel chosen, nothing will. Now think about your daily routine. Have you noticed your cat watches you constantly? It watches you cook. It watches you work. It watches you sleep with unsettling patience. Researchers believe cats are studying us the way we study the weather. They are tracking patterns. When you wake up. When you reach for the can opener. When you sit down with the laptop, that means you will be still for hours. A cat's brain may be small, but the part responsible for memory and pattern recognition is remarkably similar to ours. They are building a model of you in their mind. A predictive map of the strange giant they live with. And they update that map every single day. And here's where it gets even stranger. Cats can recognize their owner's voice. A 2013 study at the University of Tokyo played recordings of different voices to house cats. The cats responded clearly when they heard their owner. Their ears turned. Their pupils dilated. Their tails twitched in subtle recognition. But here is the twist. They often chose not to respond outwardly. They knew it was you. They simply decided you were not worth getting up for. Which is perhaps the most cat thing imaginable. Quick pause before we go deeper. I want to ask you something honest. What is the one thing your cat does that makes you feel most love? Maybe it is the slow blink across the room. Maybe it is the way it follows you from one chair to the next without making a sound. Maybe it is the warm weight curled against your back at night. Drop it in the comments below. I read everyone, and these tiny stories are the best part of this channel. Now, back to the mystery. Because we have only just scratched the surface, let us talk about the slow blink. If your cat ever stares at you and slowly closes its eyes, something extraordinary is happening. In cat language, direct eye contact is a threat. Closing the eyes around another creature means you trust it completely. It means, I do not need to watch you because I know you will not hurt me. Scientists call it the cat kiss. When you slow blink back, your cat often returns the gesture. You are having a conversation older than written language. A quiet exchange of safety between two species that were never supposed to share a home. Think about that. For most of history, cats were wild hunters who chose, on their own, to walk closer to human fires. We did not domesticate them. They domesticated themselves. They saw our grain stores, our mice, our warmth, and decided we were useful. Then somewhere along the way, useful became something more. Which brings us to a harder question. Do cats actually love us? For years, scientists were skeptical. Cats seem too independent, too aloof, too self-contained for what we call love. But in 2019, researchers at Oregon State University ran a now-famous experiment. They placed cats in a room with their owners, then briefly removed the owners, then brought them back. The cats' reactions were measured carefully. About 65% of the cats showed what is called secure attachment, the same bonding pattern seen in human infants with their parents, the same pattern seen in dogs with their owners. In other words, your cat is bonded to you on a level we used to think was impossible. The aloofness is a myth. The indifference is a performance. Underneath the cool exterior is a small creature whose nervous system genuinely calms down when you walk into the room. And there is more. Cats can read human emotions. Studies have shown they behave differently when their owner is sad versus happy. They approach more when you cry. They keep a respectful distance when you are angry. They tune into the tone of your voice the way a child tunes into a parent. Some researchers now believe cats experience a form of empathy. Not whether they like you to what they actually think you are, but what they actually think you are. So what do cats really think of their owners? They think you are family. They think you are confusing. They think you are slightly oversized, slightly slow, but mostly reliable companion who controls the magical box of food. They think your lap is the safest place in the universe. They think your voice is one specific sound in a world full of noise, and that sound means home. They do not worship you the way a dog might. But in some ways, what they offer is rarer. A dog's love is given freely. A cat's love is given by choice. Every purr is a small decision. Every slow blink is a quiet promise. Every time your cat chooses your lap over a sunbeam, you are being told something profound. You matter. To this tiny predator with ancient eyes, you matter. You are seen. You are chosen. And maybe that is the real wonder of living with a cat. We share our homes with a creature that never lost its wildness. A creature that could survive without us, but stays anyway. A creature that watches us, learns us, names us with its scent and decides every single day that we are worth keeping. Somewhere in the long story of evolution, two very different animals found each other. One built cities. The other builds quiet trust. And every night, in millions of homes around the world, a small furred body curls against a human heartbeat, and the conversation continues without a single word. If you enjoyed this video, take a moment and tap the like button because it genuinely helps more curious minds find the channel. If you want more stories about how animals think, feel, and see the world, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. And I want to hear from you in the comments. What does your cat do that makes you absolutely certain it understands more than it lets on? Tell me the story. The weirder, the better. In the next video, we are going inside the mind of a different animal entirely, one whose intelligence has been quietly humbling scientists for decades. You are not going to want to miss it. Until then, keep watching, keep wondering, and keep paying attention to the small minds that share your world, because they are paying attention to you.